Peru recently unveiled that they have alien bodies that were found in a mine, and we actually stole one, and we have it right here. So last week it was just released that Peru unveiled alien bodies that were found in a mine that were carbon dated over 1,000 years ago. Do you believe this?
I don't know if I do. I think
we always say, show us the proof, show us the bodies, and they did produce what looked like E.T.'s body.
If you really want me to say I believe or don't believe, they look like E.T. They looked like from the movie in the 80s, E.T. That's exactly what they look like. And one of the other things
Drew Barrymore wasn't there. So
no, Drew Barrymore wasn't there. How long did they have this thing? Did you watch actually any of the,
the footage and the podcast and the YouTube video that they released, or Congress, was over 4 hours long. So I did not watch the whole 4 hours. I did see most of it. It was very compelling that the evidence that they had during this hearing, it makes it believable.
Yeah, but here's my thing. Like, it was just a UFO enthusiast, right, that had this alien body.
A couple different things. You know, recently we had the U.S. government have the hearings on UAPs and UFOs and all the things like that. So generated a lot
interest,
as well as like people want to know whether these things are real. In Peru, it comes out that they've had these bodies that they didn't say were crashed from a UFO. They said they were found in a mine near the Nazca lines.
These alien bodies were just buried. There was no crash, was associated with these bodies. These bodies are over 1,000 years old.
Well, they did carbon dating on the bodies, and they were from over 1,000 years ago, as well as the DNA structure of these creatures
is unknown. And Ryan Graves, who testified in the United States Congress, was also at this hearing, and he spoke as well.
Correct. He shared his firsthand experiences with UAPs and all that.
You're more into this than I think I am, and I don't know, like,
because we always say, like, show us bodies, show us the footage, show us things, and they actually produce something that scientists have actually studied and like looked at, and they can't figure out what it is.
Yeah, but here's my thing: we're going to be talking about Project Bluebeam next week, part of Project Bluebeam, and if people don't know what Project Bluebeam is,
stay tuned for next week.
Well, yeah, but in a nutshell, it's all that it really is: faked alien invasion to start a new world order. That's like the gist of it.
Yeah, I get that, but you had scientists study this from what the hearing said from all over the world. They brought in scientists, and they can't figure it out.
Yeah, but why wasn't this body shown before if they had this in a lab? Or were they just really trying to test it from DNA?
I don't know. Why
now?
About a bunch of other crap,
Well, that's the thing. That's the one thing I don't understand. If they had this for years and they were studying it, and like, why didn't it leak beforehand? Why now? Like, why do they have to present this in front of like Congress, in Mexico for this? Why do they have to do that instead of just saying, hey, we have this alien? And then how'd this alien enthusiast get it? Where it's just people digging in the mine, found this body, and they contacted this guy that's part of like MUFON or any of these other groups and just said, hey, man, we have an alien body. Like, could this be fake?
I'm sure it could be fake, but
I know seeing is believing.
I mean, this is seeing.
And I mean, they have x-rays. They did a lot of of testing on that.
One of the x-rays showed like a metal breastplate that it had, and they think that's the way it communicates.
Through the breastplate?
Like the metal like plate inside of its chest, which, I mean, if you look at the x-rays, they're weird looking.
I always come back to this too, because if the government for the longest time, for the last almost 80 years, they were trying to throw everybody off.
Yep. Why now?
Yeah. Why? And that's my only question of why we keep talking about these aliens.
I think it's just always like misdirection, right? Because they don't want you to focus on something else. They want you to like focus on this now.
Which I understand. There's a lot more people that are open-minded nowadays to say, hey, man, Congress itself in the United States and from around the world, and a lot of other countries, which a lot of people don't know, have task force.
Yeah, they do.
That are based to figure out some of these crafts, alien bodies. Like France has its own thing that no one really talks about.
England, yeah, a lot of
like
them.
China, Russia.
Yeah.
United States kind of has their secret programs too that they, dabble into the UFO conspiracy and talk. But
here's like another thing I keep coming back to too. When I listen to Joe Rogan have the two archaeologists on that studied the Great Pyramids in Egypt, that they were saying an advanced civilization lived here thousands of years ago, because we can't even duplicate how the pyramids were built now with all of our technology, how precise they are.
I
how,
get
like
it.
it was cut, how they moved the stones, how everything. And then if you look at like the one other episode that we did, like the Eye of Africa,
Yeah.
you know, City of Atlantis, and how like all that kind of connected, that there was a great flood or a great like natural disaster, maybe, or catastrophic something, and that wiped that civilization out, and then we started at the bottom. So maybe these are part of a race that was here long before us that got
Well, that's another thing I want to know.
extinct.
They had this crashed UFO, or this UFO that landed in Las Vegas, and the family saw it, and
Correct.
they talked about 8 to 10 foot aliens. These things are like little kids. These are like 3 foot. You know, and you always heard that back in the day,
Yeah.
in the 50s, 60s, 80s, 90s, where it's like these little green men are running around. They're these little grays who are 4 foot tall. So a lot of the reports make sense. All right, these things are small. But then you hear other reports where it's like, all right, then you have these giants, which I get if you look at the human race.
Well, I mean, look at like our very first episode about the Men in Black. Reported like 7 to 8 foot tall men in suits that look like kind of robotic walking around.
Yeah.
So I mean, maybe there's different kind of alien races that inhabit this planet or that come to this planet. Maybe it was like they come back to this planet because they knew that aliens were here prior to us.
Yeah, the only thing, like, I do believe that there is maybe other races of aliens that maybe are competing for Earth. One of my true beliefs is aliens did create us. They seeded us somehow. And
Okay.
maybe this is just like an experiment and they're checking up on us.
I mean, it could be, but we always wanted proof. We wanted the bodies. We wanted evidence. And this is one of the most tangible things that we do have.
I know, but why do aliens always look like us? I mean, besides the 3 fingers, it only had 3 fingers.
I mean, the head looks weird.
The head looks exactly like E.T.
That's because probably it is. That's probably where the movie came from.
Oh, so they were sitting there and
I'm just saying, like,
That's another
all this shit, like, has to have come from somewhere. Any of these movies, like alien movies or extraterrestrial movies, there has to be little truths to it, just like any of the folklore tales that we hear.
all right, if they had, maybe a select few people knew about this in the UFO community and they didn't tell anybody, and please don't leak this until we go in front of Congress and talk about it. Why do you have to go in front of Congress to talk about it? If I found an alien body, I'd be plastering it all over.
Yeah, but like
social
would
media.
it really get out though?
No, maybe it wouldn't.
Exactly.
So you have to go in front of Congress, who I don't
You have to
even
get in
believe
front of,
Congress.
like a wide audience, and like probably that's the best way they think.
I would
is
go on
gonna
news.
happen.
Hey, get News 12 over here now, bro.
News 12, New Jersey.
We're talking about it. I don't know, man.
So if you were to rate this, you would say it's fake.
I'm gonna have to give it a thumbs down. I don't know. I just need more, I want to know why all of a sudden now there were so many people afraid to come forward when they had sightings that took them years to come forward. Now all of a sudden, like Congress and all these people are like, look at all the proof we have. Look at all the proof we have now. And it does make me believe now Project Bluebeam may be correct. Now all of a sudden they want everybody to know about it, and they're willing to talk about it on a center
Maybe
stage
because
in
they know
Congress.
something's coming.
A faked alien invasion,
But no, I'm just saying maybe they know something's coming
and they can't stop it.
and they can't stop it.
Yeah, but I'm still giving this fake because I feel like it's part of their agenda for some reason. I don't know. What about you?
Like I want to believe it. I really do.
You're
It
giving
just,
it a thumbs up.
It just looks fake to me.
Oh, so you're giving this a thumbs down.
The body looks
you were
fake,
just
but-
you were just telling me all this stuff. Seeing is believing.
I'm just throwing things out there because like I want to believe it's real. It looks fake to me, but does make sense that there was a race here that
I agree.
was more advanced than we are right now, like light years ahead, that got wiped off the earth from whatever the case may be, whatever happened.
Alien war.
Now we're here, but aliens are still out there.
If you had to rate this,
I would give it a thumbs down.
man, all that talking, you gave it a thumbs down. I don't know. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe to us on our YouTube channel. We're going to be talking about a lot of weird stuff coming up. Project Bluebeam, some razor blades and candy.
And if you like candy
War
corn,
of the
stop
Worlds,
listening.
another alien. You like what?
I said if you like candy corn, you better stop listening.
Yeah, candy corn's cool to look at, but yeah, not good. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, and until next time,
Stay spooky.
and look up at those stars.
You may see Starlink.
Stay tuned and get your spooky tinfoil hat on.
The alien bodies are moving in the studio.
Guy believes in UFOs. Oh, he's crazy. You know, he saw a UFO.